Security cameras are hidden for a reason, and today's episode proves what lurks in the shadows. Mysterious cryptids, terrifying figures, and other shocking moments that no one would have believed if these security cameras didn't capture them. A woman stepped outside late at night to let her dog pee, unaware of the danger waiting on her porch. She turned on the light and stood there quietly. After a while, she turned her head and froze. A strange man was sitting calmly in a chair on the porch, staring ahead. Terrified, she ran back inside and screamed for her husband, saying someone was outside. Before they could call 911, the man vanished without a trace. To this day, they still wonder who he was and why he was sitting there in the dark. Bone-chilling encounter. A man in Astoria, Oregon, was experiencing poltergeist activity and installed a CCTV camera in his room to catch it on tape. One night, while he was sleeping, the door suddenly slammed shut with a force so strong that it shook the camera. Startled, he woke up screaming, trying to confront whatever was there, but the camera showed nothing. Terrified, he continued yelling at the unseen presence before finally escaping the room. The incident left him shaken, wondering whether a restless spirit or something far more sinister had been haunting him that night. Terrifying encounter. Just 2 years ago in Cedar, Utah, a man believed he was being haunted by evil spirits, so he was reading the Bible in the kitchen. Suddenly, a cutting board fell from the shelf on its own. The man was so scared that he began to let out horrible screams. As he stood up from his chair, the fridge door opened by itself. Terrified, he held up the cross and the Bible toward the invisible entity that was causing him fear. Then, even more mysteriously, the chairs started moving on their own, and the baby chair fell on the ground, as if he had agitated the ghost. He tried to get out of the room, but out of fear, he could not open the door at first. But somehow, he managed to escape. That was the day he left the apartment and moved to a new one, hoping to leave the spirits behind. Mysterious intruder. On the 21st of July, 2023, a family heard strange noises coming from their backyard late at night. On checking the CCTV footage, they were left shocked to see a woman-like figure slowly entering the yard. Her eyes were shining unnaturally in the dark. Even more disturbing was the way she moved, bent forward as if her body was not built to stand upright. When the family searched the backyard, they found no footprints or signs of entry. Confused, they informed the authorities about the intrusion, and for days, they kept wondering what the figure truly was and why it had come. Shrouded ghost. One night in Penang, Malaysia, a security guard was on his night shift when he noticed a strange figure walking through the building. It was covered in a shroud, hopping silently, then stopped for a moment and stared directly into the camera. Its face was pale, and its white, eerie eyes sent shivers down the guard's spine. After a few seconds, the figure moved on and vanished. Terrified, the guard showed the footage to his supervisor, who whispered that it might be a pocong, a ghost of a person whose shroud was never untied for 40 days. Peculiar peeking figure. In Harlan, Kentucky, a strange moment was caught on a CCTV camera in a house's backyard. A woman was taking dry clothes off the railing near the fence. As she turned to go back inside, a strange creature suddenly peeked from behind the broken fence. It had large, black, bulging eyes and a pale face that did not look like any animal or human she knew. Later, when she watched the footage, she showed it to her neighbors, hoping it might be their pet or something normal. But they were just as shocked and had no idea what it was. Vanishing woman. A couple of weeks ago in San Juan, Puerto Rico, a security guard, watching from his monitoring room, noticed a strange woman standing alone in the middle of the road. She appeared to be performing some kind of ritual. Suddenly, her body glowed a burning orange, lighting up the street, and she vanished, leaving behind nothing but a cloud of smoke. Frozen in shock, the guard was convinced he had just witnessed a witch disappear right before his eyes. Alienoid. There had been rumors of an alien sighting in Canmore, Canada, but no one really believed them until this footage went viral. The video shows a strange figure with a slender body, an almond-shaped head, and large, black, bulging eyes. It appears out of the darkness in a house's backyard, moving crouched low, then suddenly stands up and walks around as if it owns the place. People are convinced it might be real, but the authorities have not confirmed whether it was an alien or just an elaborate hoax. Ghost Child. In Galena, Illinois, a bone-chilling moment was captured on a dark night. A street camera recorded a small, childlike figure dressed in white, with long black hair covering its face, quietly walking along the pavement. Then, without slowing down, it passed straight through the locked cemetery gate, as if the iron bars didn't exist at all. At that hour, no real child should have been outside, and no human could have walked through solid metal. Locals whispered that the graveyard was haunted, and many now believe the camera caught one of its restless spirits on the move. Frightening doll-like figure. A family checked their CCTV footage after returning home for several days to see if anything unusual had happened, and what they saw was shocking. A doll-like figure was standing silently at their front door. It had blonde hair, and its face looked cracked. Without warning, the figure suddenly lunged toward the camera, causing the footage to cut out. Terrified, the family showed the video to their neighbors, hoping for an explanation. However, no one nearby had seen or heard anything strange. Strange creature. On the 23rd of September, 2024, a CCTV camera in Clovis, New Mexico, filmed something no one could explain. A strange figure was seen crawling along the pavement, unlike any known animal. Then, in an instant, it shifted into the shape of a man and calmly walked away. When the clip was posted online, it quickly started a debate about otherworldly beings. But, to this day, no authority has confirmed what really appeared on that footage. Walking Dead. A woman was home alone one night in Savannah, Georgia, when loud banging echoed from her front door. Shaking with fear, she checked the security camera and saw a man covered in mud, slamming his shoulder against the door as if trying to break in. His eyes were glowing, and his movements looked uncontrolled and unnatural, almost like a walking dead. After several attempts, he suddenly lost his strength and collapsed onto the porch fence. Terrified, the woman immediately called 911. When police arrived, they found the man lying in a ditch near the house and took him into custody, but never explained who he was or what made him behave like this. Peculiar drifting ball. A bizarre moment was captured by a CCTV camera on a street in La Serena, Chile. The footage shows a strange, white, ball-like object drifting across the road, leaving behind a trail of smoke. It continued moving until it turned the corner and suddenly vanished, as if it had never been there. When the video spread online, some viewers claimed it was a supernatural entity, while others dismissed it as a hoax created just to gain attention. Dark apparition. On the 18th of May, 2014, a chilling moment was captured on a CCTV camera at a hotel in Birmingham, UK. A woman was walking downstairs to buy some groceries when a dark shadow suddenly crossed her path. She quickly turned and rushed back to her room in fear. No physical features were visible, only a cloud-like mass of smoke. The shadow lingered for a brief second, then bolted after her. Shaken, the woman quickly packed her bags and left the hotel, remembering how her friends had warned her not to stay there because of rumors that it was haunted. Smoky Street Ghost. One night in a quiet street in Goa, India, a dog was lying calmly in the middle of the road when suddenly it seemed to sense something we couldn't see. It stood up, fixed its gaze on something ahead, and slowly began to move away, as if something invisible was coming toward it. Then, on the CCTV footage, a dark shadow appeared. It moved like a human, but its body was made of thick, black smoke. No clear features, no face, just a cloud in the shape of a person gliding down the street. When the video was posted online, many were convinced the camera had captured a real ghost walking through the street. Pulled by invisible. On a routine day in Zhejiang, China, a chef was working in a restaurant kitchen when something unsettling happened. He suddenly slipped backward, as if an invisible force had pulled his legs, and barely managed to stop himself from falling. Shocked, he looked around but found nothing that could explain it. With no visible cause, many believe it may have been a ghost revealing its presence. Kitsune. In Takayama, Japan, a man installed a CCTV camera in his backyard after he found some of his pigeons in an unresponsive state. In the footage, he saw a brown fox sniffing around the grass. At first, it seemed normal, but then the fox suddenly paused, sensing something unusual nearby. In a shocking moment, it moved straight through the fence in front of it and vanished, as if it wasn't an ordinary fox at all. Later, when the video was shared online, viewers suggested it could be a kitsune, a mythological creature known to disguise itself as a fox. Rake. A man installed CCTV cameras near his house to catch a strange creature that had been making his hens disappear, leaving only feathers behind. One night, the creature appeared again and shocked him because it didn't look like any known animal. It had a slender body and was moving on all fours in a crouched position. Its arms and legs were similar to humans, but what made it apart from humans was its crouched position, round head, and large glowing eyes. When the man watched the footage, he quickly identified it as the rake and informed the authorities, but they couldn't find the creature in the nearby forest. Flying fiery. This CCTV footage was shared on Instagram by an unidentified source and left viewers shocked because a strange creature appeared on camera. It was late at night, and the street was quiet when, suddenly, a tiny creature flew in front of the camera and disappeared. The creature was very small and seemed to have human-like arms and legs, flying at incredible speed. People online were divided. Some said it was a fairy, while others thought it was just a flying moth. What it actually was, you decide. Ghost cat. A family in Houston, Texas, had been experiencing strange activity in their home for 3 days, so they installed CCTV cameras, and what the footage revealed left them horrified. A shadowy creature with glowing eyes was seen walking through the TV lounge, leaving behind a smoky trail. The figure looked similar to their pet cat, which had passed away just a week ago. Terrified, the family began to wonder if it was their cat's restless spirit still wandering the house. Invisible woman. On the 15th of March, 2021, security guards in Medan, Indonesia, witnessed something they still can't explain. While monitoring the CCTV, a strange woman-like figure appeared in the middle of the street. Only her long black hair and bare feet were visible. Her body was completely invisible, as if she were a ghost, partially revealed by the camera. The figure lingered for a brief, chilling moment and vanished. Shaken, the guards saved the footage and uploaded it online. Many viewers called it a simple camera glitch, but others insist that it was something far more unsettling than just a glitch. Peculiar smoke cloud. On the 14th of November, 2022, in Rotorua, New Zealand, a CCTV camera captured a chilling moment in a seemingly normal TV lounge. Suddenly, a strange cloud of smoke drifted across the room, but it wasn't ordinary smoke. Glowing orbs swirled inside it, moving unnaturally, and it didn't resemble any insects or dust. The homeowner, stunned, had never seen anything like it before. When the footage went online, viewers were left questioning its origin. Was it a paranormal entity or a mysterious phenomenon? You decide what it really was. Glowing orbs. A man was casually reviewing the CCTV footage of his backyard when he noticed a strange glowing object falling from the sky, and as the motion sensor moved the camera downward, the object suddenly disappeared. Then, out of nowhere, 2 other glowing orbs appeared and slowly glided through the air. The man was stunned because the way the lights moved and vanished made no sense to him, and he couldn't shake the feeling that he had just witnessed something otherworldly. Strange crouched figure. A man's car had been stolen from outside his house in Kerala, India. While reviewing the CCTV footage, he was shocked to see a strange figure crouched low to the ground, moving slowly beside his car. He couldn't tell whether it was a human or some other mysterious creature. When he showed the footage to the authorities, they identified the figure as a member of a notorious thief group that disguises itself as beggars or disabled people to steal cars, and he could be responsible for his car being stolen. Haunted bicycle. On the night of May 7th, 2025, a man woke to a strange noise outside his house. When he stepped out, he found his bicycle lying on the ground, as if someone had tried to steal it. Curious, he checked the CCTV footage, and his jaw dropped. The bike was rolling forward on its own, its pedals turning as if an invisible rider sat on the seat. The moment the nearby motion sensor camera switched on, the bicycle suddenly crashed to the floor. He had bought it just 2 days earlier, and finally understood why the previous owner sold it so cheaply. Spooky bar. Late Saturday night, a man was sitting alone in a bar in Ely, Nevada. Without anyone nearby, a bottle of wine suddenly fell from the shelf and smashed on the floor. The sound echoed through the empty bar. The man froze, his heart racing because there had always been rumors that this bar was haunted, but he never believed them until that moment. As he stared at the broken glass, he wondered if he had just witnessed real paranormal activity and quickly stepped out of the bar. Mysterious shadow. In Bled, Slovenia, a man living alone installed a CCTV camera in his TV lounge after hearing strange noises for 3 nights in a row. One night, the footage captured something terrifying. The basement lights began flickering on their own, and a dark shadow slowly moved up the stairs. As it reached the top, it vanished without a trace. The man watched in horror because no one else was there except him. Then who or what cast that shadow? To this day, the answer remains a chilling mystery. Paranormal activity. On the 19th of July, 2024, a family was startled when their CCTV alarm went off, warning that someone was in the room. When they rushed to check, the room was empty. Confused, they reviewed the footage and were shocked to see their baby's bicycle moving on its own, as if an invisible rider was pedaling it. Terrified, they uploaded the clip to Instagram, asking viewers for an explanation, but many quickly called it a hoax, pointing out hands behind the curtain, suggesting someone was secretly pushing the bike just to create the scene to grab viewers' attention. Haunted barbershop.
Oh shit, oh hell.
On a routine day in a barbershop in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, a bizarre moment was captured on CCTV camera. The receptionist noticed that the barber's gown lying on the chair moved on its own, as if someone had pulled it back. He was so scared that he jumped up from his seat and rushed outside, leaving the other barbers stunned, wondering what he had just witnessed that frightened him so much. Later, when they watched the video, they were also shocked and became convinced that the shop was haunted.
Okay, we got it. That shit right there just move.
Creepy witch. A man living in Vicksburg, Mississippi, was woken up at 3 a.m. to go to the bathroom and heard a strange noise coming from outside. He went outside to check, but there was no one. Confused, he reviewed the doorbell camera footage and froze in terror. A creepy figure dressed in white was walking straight toward the door. It had long nails, long black hair, a distorted face, and bulging eyes, resembling just like a witch. The man was so terrified that he couldn't sleep for the rest of the night, afraid that the witch might return. Alien. A man in Taos, New Mexico, kept noticing strange activity outside his home late at night, so he decided to install a CCTV camera near his front door. What he later saw in the footage was terrifying. A strange, pale figure was peeking from behind the corner of a wall. It had a flat nose, large, bulging eyes, and a bald, round head, just like the aliens people describe in stories. When the man stepped outside to check, the figure slipped back behind the wall and disappeared. The next morning, after reviewing the footage, he became convinced that he had captured an alien on camera, although no official report or confirmation was ever released. Figure in the dark. One night, a man was reviewing his CCTV footage when he noticed a strange man-like figure standing motionless in front of his house. The area was poorly lit, making the figure's face look twisted and unclear. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Then, suddenly, the figure began moving straight toward the house. Just as it reached the front, it vanished into thin air. Out of curiosity, the man went outside to check, but no one was there, which intensified his fear. Mysterious figure. This footage was shared by a man living in Billings, Montana, who claimed he spotted something deeply unsettling on his CCTV. At first, everything looked normal. Then, a strange grunting sound echoed through the recording, as if something hidden in the darkness was trying to reveal itself. Moments later, a dark figure with glowing eyes appeared in the top right corner of the frame, only to slip back into the shadows as though it didn't want to be seen. The man replayed the clip over and over, but he still couldn't understand what he was looking at. So now it's over to you. Watch closely and let me know in the comments what you think this thing could be. Mysterious street figure. One weekend, a man was reviewing the security footage outside his home in Florence, Arizona, when something strange caught his eye. On the quiet pavement, a blurry figure appeared, moving slowly under the streetlight. Its shape was unclear, as if the camera could not fully capture it. What made its presence unsettling was that the figure did not cast a shadow and seemed to walk step by step like a human, and as it passed the house, it briefly faded. The man was left staring at the screen, unsure of what he had just seen. Clown figure. On the 9th of September, 2017, a man in Eureka, California, was startled by his doorbell ringing at 2 a.m. Out of curiosity, he checked the CCTV footage and was left stunned to see a strange figure that had been standing in front of his house. After a while, it moved forward and appeared as a clown, holding balloons in its hand. It bent slightly to the left, stared directly into the camera, and then slowly walked away. Terrified, the man contacted the authorities because the town had long whispered about a similar figure appearing at night, and days later, people reportedly went missing. Bizarre peeking creature. In Pine Bluff, Arkansas, a man found pieces of his backyard fence broken. Curious, he checked the CCTV footage to see what had caused it. To his shock, the camera revealed a strange creature with glowing eyes tearing through the wooden fence and peeking inside the house. Its movements were quick and unnerving, unlike any ordinary animal. The man waited for the creature to return, hoping to capture it again, but it never appeared. With a forest nearby, he considered it might have been a wild animal, but the footage was pointing to something far more mysterious than an animal. Wall climbing figure. I believe this footage will make you check your surroundings twice. It was shared by a man living in Cannon City, Colorado, and shows a peculiar figure climbing the wall of his house. The figure has long limbs that somewhat resemble a human's, but no normal person could climb a wall like that. Out of curiosity, he asked viewers online what they thought it was. Some suggested it was a kind of spider mutation, while others believed it was an alien. So, what do you think it might be? Creepy stalker. On the 27th of October, 2023, a woman was disturbed by strange sounds late at night. It felt as if someone was scratching at their door, trying to get inside. Yet the security camera showed nothing. Worried, she installed more cameras around the house. A few nights later, the footage captured a terrifying pale figure with long black hair standing outside her daughter's window, trying to open the glass. Terrified, she reported the incident to police, but to this day, she has no idea who or what was haunting her and trying to get inside her house. Shape-shifting creature. On the 9th of October, 2024, a CCTV camera outside a workshop in Heroica, Veracruz, Mexico, captured something terrifying. An animal-like creature was seen running down the street. Then, suddenly, it changed shape and turned into a man before vanishing. When the footage was posted online, it quickly went viral. Viewers were shocked, and they believed it was a skinwalker, a dark being said to transform from animal to human. Haunted kitchen.
What is that? Right there.
On the 22nd of December, 2025, restaurant staff in Jerome, Arizona had been noticing unusual happenings, so they decided to check the CCTV footage. What they saw left them terrified. A small object lying on a shelf suddenly moved without anyone touching it. But that was only the beginning. Moments later, a childlike figure appeared in the reflection of the fridge glass. Its pale face and white, eerie eyes were looking in the glass before vanishing in an instant. That was the moment the staff realized the truth, that the kitchen had been haunted, and the footage was proof of something paranormal lurking among them. Shadowy figure. This bizarre CCTV footage comes from Marfa, Texas. A shadowy, girl-like figure can be seen walking slowly down the street before heading straight toward a house. The figure slipped inside the house. The guard, who was watching live on his security camera, rushed into the house to confront the intruder, but found no one there. No doors, no windows, nothing disturbed. So who or what was walking through the home? When he informed his owner about the incident, he thought it might be the soul of his daughter, who had passed away a month ago. Now it's time for today's subscribers' pick of the day.
That chilling video was recorded by a doorbell camera at a home here in Arcadia, California, about 20 miles from Los Angeles. The owner sent the footage to cops. They searched the neighborhood and say they found a woman being held captive inside this home right around the corner.
6 years ago, in Arcadia, California, a doorbell camera captured a terrifying moment. A woman was running toward her house door, screaming for help, as if being chased. Suddenly, a man appeared behind her, dragged her into the street, and moved in a strange, uncontrolled way. Her screams echoed loudly, terrifying the neighbors. Authorities arrived, and the man was taken into custody. It was later revealed